welcome back to another episode of Love the Real Hills. I'm Renee.
And I'm Chris.
And we are here for your daily dose of realness. Are you ready, babe?
I'm ready. This is going to be really exciting today.
Yes.
I really love doing this show. I love doing it with you. We love being real, being 100% uncut and raw, and really sharing and answering your questions and responding to all your comments has really been a rich experience for us as well, because I think we get to know more about people, more about each other, and then more about purpose and what we're kind of called to do.
Yeah.
And so that's been really exciting. Do us a favor, guys. Would you like and subscribe and share? When your little subscription, your like, your thumbs up, it helps with that algorithm, and it's helping us to move up so that more and more people can be aware of our platform and we can reach more people and encounter more people. We really appreciate it if you take a moment just to hit that little like button and to subscribe. That thumbs up is going to be a real blessing for us.
Yes, go ahead and follow us on Instagram. And don't forget, send your questions to our YouTube chat. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you're thinking, what questions you have, even topics that you want us to talk about. Go ahead and put those in our chat, and we'll be sure to do our best to get to them.
I know. We've been working through it, and we've been doing pretty good. I think this is our 18th show together, 17 or 18th show together. And so we're excited. The season's wrapping up. We're going to end off with a bang. But let's get into this subject today. We're going to jump right in.
What are we talking about?
Today, we're asked this question. We get it from everywhere. And so we really wanted to address it and take a whole show to do it. Is we're going to talk about how do you discover your purpose?
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break before we jump in, and we'll be right back here on Love the Real Hills.
See you in a minute.
Higher Level Denver is here. Join us as we go to the higher level. Higher Level Denver with Dr. Chris Hill.
But I'm about to get real free. Free in my mind, free in my body, free in my past, free in my future. I need a free person to give God a free praise right here.
We are friends of God, friends of man, and friends of humanity. Transform your life. Find your voice. Get ready to roar. Join Dr. Chris Hill at Higher Level Denver this Sunday at 10 a.m. Higher Level Denver at the Roar Center, 3035 South Parker Road, Aurora, Colorado, 80014. See all that we're doing on the web at www.higherleveldenver.org.
And we're back.
We're back.
I'm really excited about today's subject because we get asked this everywhere I go, all around the world. When people kind of hear about that I started my path in ministry as a little boy, one of the first things people ask is, well, how did you know? How did you know your purpose? How did you know your calling at such a young age? And so because I knew so young, I could prepare for it earlier and then get to launch into it faster. And I wanted to know, babe, how did you find your purpose?
Well, that's a long story, but to make it short.
We have time.
We have plenty of time. So basically, I probably started thinking about purpose fairly young in my life.
What are you talking, how young?
Probably about 16, 17, so I really had to take some time to myself and kind of think through what my purpose was on earth, because from childhood, I kind of went through a hard, younger life. So when I got 16 and free,
wow,
it was like, okay, so what now?
No, because you emancipated from your parents.
I had
at
to get away.
And that's that. We're going to do a whole show just on our two stories, and because you won't believe these stories when we get to share them. But you were emancipated. So at 16, you're on your own. You're legally on your own at 16, and then you begin to examine your own life.
Yes.
To determine your purpose.
yeah, I just, of course I knew who God was. Of course I was heavily involved in ministry and church and stuff like that. But at that point in life, I really had to really think about it, because here I am in the world and like, okay, I need to figure it out without much guidance at that point. So for me, always the best place to go to know was for me to open my Bible.
Okay.
And so, I started in Genesis.
What do you mean? So you started reading the Bible?
Yeah. I read the Bible my whole life, but I set with my Bible with a purpose to find my purpose. Like, there has to be, this is supposed to be my map. This is my map as a Christian human being. This is supposed to be my map, so that this thing has to guide me in some kind of way.
Wow.
And I started in Genesis and I worked my way through. And the first thing I ran across in Genesis was, the creation.
Okay.
And part of my philosophy comes from the creation. And I read it over and over and I said, God, what are you saying? And particularly when God made Eve.
Okay.
Because I'm a woman. Before Eve, there were no women.
Right.
It was just the creatures, the trees, the plants, all of that stuff. And so he made Eve.
Gotcha.
And the Bible said that he made her for a reason. And I looked at the Bible and I'm like, oh, he made her to be a helpmate, or so that the man would not be alone.
Okay.
And I'm like, God, what does this mean? Like, her only reason for being made was so that man would not be alone. And he said yes to me. Yes. So I took that.
Okay.
And I said, all right, I know that one purpose that I have in life is so that man will not be alone. My job is to find my person.
Wow.
Who I came out of their rib.
Right.
And when I find that person or they find me, my job is to make sure that they are not alone. That's my purpose. So I took that and I applied that. And then I read further in the Bible and the Great Command and the Great Commission. And, okay, there's my spiritual purpose.
Okay.
So now my fleshly purpose is to be with my partner and make sure that they're not alone.
Wow.
My spiritual purpose is to go out and tell everyone about Jesus, make disciples, and so they know about the Lord.
Okay.
That's my job. Those are my two purposes, pretty much, to sum it up and to make it very simple. And
Is there a third one?
but then I have my personal purpose. Like,
Okay.
you're here on earth, you have your spirituality, you have your reality, but then you have all those things in your heart that come up, the desires of your heart. And it says that God gives you the desires of your heart.
Right.
So if they're there, God gave it to me.
Okay.
And those are the things like, again, another thing, he's like, go be fruitful and multiply. Okay. When he puts them out of the garden, he says, be fruitful and multiply, right?
Right.
So I know that I'm supposed to have children. That's another part of my purpose.
Right. So
To
when
have
you're
children.
reading these things, and they're kind of things that are jumping out to you, they're Christian words, they're bear witness with your spirit.
Yeah.
And so they were kind of really personal to you. And because someone else may read that and they don't see that in that.
Well, the Bible, we're supposed to read the Bible like children. We're supposed to go to God like children. And it's very plain. And I even took it so far, the more I got spiritually in depth with training and going to ministry classes, I started to learn about, the Touch Bible and the Strongs and breaking down the words. But at the end of the day, it meant what it meant. He put us here
They say
so that man
They say I'm hard. They say I'm hardline.
won't be alone.
They got to meet my wife.
And
because
then-
Renee is no joke, okay? But I like what you said.
I don't like to add.
Let me kind of put it together. Okay, so your marital purpose was to
Be there.
make sure that your partner
Is not alone. That
Your person
includes everything.
is
Whatever
not
they
alone.
need me to do in their world so that they don't feel alone, that's what I do.
Your spiritual purpose is to make disciples, to
Yes,
advance
go
the kingdom
out.
of God.
Tell people about Jesus, bring them in, teach them, help them to grow, mentor them in the things of God.
And then your personal was, you felt like when you saw that be fruitful and multiply, that was an instruction to you to
Have children.
have children.
The Bible says that I am to leave, a righteous man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Okay, why would that be a thing in the Bible if I wasn't meant to have children that have children?
Wow.
Like, so yes, I should have children. Like whether I wanted to or not, or whether it was a thing or not, this is what it says. I'm just going off of what the Bible says. I don't put my upbringing on the Bible. I don't put my philosophies on the Bible.
Right.
I don't put outside thoughts and other people's opinions on the Bible. I read the Bible as a child would, very literally, and I take it very literally, and that's what I want to do. And so after applying those things, and like you were saying, then I got to my personal.
Right. And so were there more than personal than just having
Oh
children?
yeah, there were things like, with
Career.
me having, career, what I wanted to do, but still that was kind of like secondary because I didn't really find that. Now, when I read The Virtuous Woman, I found out that the virtuous woman, everything except for the first line is who can find a good wife, her price is far more than rubies.
Right.
Everything else in that scripture is about what she does for her husband. So for me, that was just confirmation of Genesis.
Now, let's roll this back, because this is one of the things that I love about my wife, and this is why we're together. Okay, now I'm not saying this is for everybody, and not saying this for everybody, but my wife, when you read The Virtuous Woman from Proverbs 31, she defines that as a wife, which is what he defines it as. So whenever I see somebody as a t-shirt on now, once you told me that, and once I read it again for myself, and I saw somebody with a t-shirt on that says, I'm a Proverbs 31 woman, my first question is either you are a wife now or you're preparing to be a wife. Because you cannot biblically be a virtuous woman. My bad, y'all.
Y'all, we told him to turn off
I
his
know.
ringer. He didn't.
These cats be trying to find me.
It's up there. It's up there.
I can't get it. I'll give it to y'all.
The button.
I can't reach that thing.
There.
Is you cannot define yourself as a virtual woman out of the context of either being a wife or preparing to be one, biblically. And I defy you to come for me. Y'all know. I will put you in your place. And it will not be a good place because we're wrong. And because we're trying to be virtuous outside of the context of marriage, we miss it in terms of purpose. But with my purpose, I want to jump in here because, and I know we're
Because
punching.
you're saying the wife. So let me say what he's saying, ladies, is what I read, every line
Yeah.
is what she does in her home for her household with her husband. So for me, I did take that as this woman
But you're only
became,
16 though.
Yeah, 16, 17.
So you weren't married till later.
No.
So you were.
So I took it as I won't be truly virtuous until I have found my person.
Wow.
And I am
You don't
married.
think you can just be preparing?
You can be preparing, and preparing, I say, in the mental sense.
Okay.
Preparing mentally, maturity-wise, you're preparing for that time when you do find your person,
Right.
that you can be in the right mental and maturity state to be able to do the things that are required of you to be, so that he is not alone and doesn't feel alone. I mean, the virtuous woman was a boss.
She's a baller.
She was in the market. She was
Right.
buying and selling property and
Right.
cattle and He trusted her.
Yep.
He would give her his money. He trusted her with the things that needed to be done
Huge.
concerning their house. Her maids were taken care of. That means her
children.
homegirls, her BFFs, her aunties, her kids, everybody under her household were taken care of. They were dressed well. They were smart. They were educated. She made sure of those things. So a lot of women, you know, I know today take it as, you know, is getting married and, you know, doing things for their husband as they don't get to be, or it diminishes them in some way. And that is just wrong thinking. That is backwards thinking, because it clearly shows you in the Bible, but that's not the case. So for me, you know, those kind of things for me are insecurity. It's an insecurity issue that you need to deal with. Because when you're secure in who you are, it doesn't matter. You will never feel diminished by the excellence of who you are with.
Wow.
Diminishment comes from inside. When you feel diminished or you feel like less than, that is an insecurity that you have to address. It has nothing to do with your partner or your significant other's ability to allow or disallow you to be or do whatever it is you want to do. Because I tell you this, every woman I know that is a virtuous woman, or that I look at as a virtuous woman, they do what they do. They do what they want to do. They do what they feel. They, in the context of their relationship, that because, like the Bible says in Virtuous Woman, he trusts her.
Right.
To do those things.
It's really interesting because this is just an American, this is a Western issue. My brothers and sisters who are watching in the continent, who are watching in India, in the subcontinent, they don't understand what we're talking about at all, because part of their culture is marriage. And so that's the culmination of, when they read this, they read it, of course it's a wife. Only in our culture where we have developed kind of a single boss babe, kind of do it yourself, I don't need no man, you know, kind of thing. Would anyone even begin to think that they could be a virtuous woman when the book said, he who finds a wife finds a good thing, a wife of this value who can find? It's already defined within the context. And I think that sometimes we're just we're trying to adapt the Bible to fit our context.
Exactly, and that's what I was saying. I don't do that, and I really believe women, girls, if I could give you any advice or anything I could say, is that you won't even understand or begin to understand the fullness of who you can be when you're single.
Wow.
As long as you're gonna stay single, and I can do this by myself. That's not the way we were created. I mean, even God made Adam and decided, dang, Adam should not be alone.
But come on, but not everybody's gonna get married.
They're not, because not everybody's gonna think that way, and not everybody's gonna come to the maturity level to understand what happens when you do things the way you were created to do them.
But what about the person? I got to play devil's advocate. What about the person? Is they did the right things?
What do you mean?
They were married. They were a good wife to their husband, and they married Pookie and Ray Ray, and it went left. He did something stupid. Okay.
Stupid, like what?
I don't know. Lots of stupid stuff.
Okay.
Hit him with a telephone pole. I don't know what he did, but it went left. What do I do then?
Okay. Dust yourself off and try again. If at first you don't succeed. Again, I'm just saying, it's not always going to be perfect the first time.
Okay.
You may not find your person the first time. I didn't find my person the first time.
Ruth didn't either.
Neither did Ruth. I'm just saying, you may not find, it may not be the first thing you do is it. Ding, 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 I'm a winner. No. Sometimes we fall down. Again, the Bible talks about falling 70 times 7 and getting back up. Again, right? You fall, you get up. You fall, you get up. Things happen.
So just forgiving yourself.
Yes, it's
and moving on.
Forgiving yourself, understanding
forgiving
that
the other person.
Understanding. But again, that is maturity.
Wow.
That's emotional maturity, and it takes deliberate, directed ability to develop that.
One of the things I see is I see people they don't have purpose. And so it's one of the biggest questions we get is how do I discover my own purpose? And I believe that God knows your purpose. I believe that your purpose is hidden in God. And one of the things you said, and you read them so fast, is that you got saved.
Yes, and I asked God.
And then
I went to God.
But you said something else too. You said you got God's way, you got in God's way, and then you got into the ministry. Here's one thing is people want God to speak to them about their purpose, and they don't do anything in God's purpose. Why should God visit you in your funky room, okay, and step over those boxes of pizza, empty boxes of pizza, to tell you what you're supposed to do with your life when you can't even serve in his house? And if we tried to find the last time you gave a significant donation to the church, it would be non-existent. I feel like so often we want God to do everything. Lord, speak to me. You can't even clean a bathroom. You can't work in the children's ministry. You can't even ush. And you want the God of the universe to visit you in your funky room, okay? Make your bed, clean up your room. What's wrong with you? And you want God to give you some touch. It blows my mind, the hubris and the pride that we want. What I love is you're going to ask God for something while you're serving him. My first job in the church was starting the organ. was starting the organ. That was not what I was going to do ultimately in my calling, but if I could be faithful in starting the organ and cleaning the microphones and cleaning out the baptismal pool, if you can be faithful over something small, then he could make you a ruler over much. But very often people are praying and beseeching God in their secret closet for some ultimate amazing thing to happen in their life. But when I come to your house is a mess. And you need to wash your feet.
I mean, baby,
That's
even
yours.
Even Ruth, she didn't get Boaz sitting in the house with her mother-in-law.
Yeah, true.
She didn't. She went to the fields and she was working.
She was working. He found that attractive.
She was working. She was serving her mother-in-law. In that time, that's what she was doing. This is not even her mom.
Right.
She's going out there to feed
her dead husband's mother.
To feed her and make sure she has food and a place to live. She's out there working.
That's so good.
And she's staying in the back, waiting until they're all done getting all the good stuff and just coming around and picking up whatever little scraps she could find. She was serving.
She's amazing.
And I did. I went into servanthood. I did not just sit around until, I don't know, something miraculously happened.
Because this is what happens, babe, is that I meet them by the thousands, and they want me to walk up on them and give them some prophetic word. And then my first prophetic word to you is, well, what do you do? What do you do at the church you're at now? Well, I don't go to this church. Well, what church do you go to? Well, I watch Bishop Jakes online. Okay, so you contribute to the online church? Well, I haven't given in a long time, but I watch every week. So you're just a freeloader of the gospel. Thank you for not helping nothing. And then you want God to move from heaven and touch you. Those are the kinds of people that no one's ever looked you in your face and said, serve before he speaks. Samuel is already serving Eli before God speaks to him. He's 8. He's been delivered there after he's weaned. So he's been in the presence of God for 7 years before God speaks to him. And so very often we want God to give us this purpose and give me my calling and show me what I'm supposed to do. And we're going to get into all that in the second half, I promise you. But I want to preface my comments with, it is imperative that you serve somewhere. that you serve somewhere, that there's a house of God that God can come and send a word to, and you can receive that word. It's imperative because usually we're talking more secular and we're talking relationship, but people have been asking us, how do I get my purpose from God? I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste energy. I want to know why I'm supposed to be here. And we're going to get into that in the second half. But I need to preface my comments by saying you need to get active. You need to get served. God does not speak to people who are doing nothing.
And with that being said, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back here on Love the Real Hills.
Join Dr. Chris Hill at Higher Level Denver. Inspirational, motivational, and elevational. At Higher Level, journey with us in reaching your highest potential in God.
Because when you go up, I go up too. When you get a promotion, I get a promotion too. When you go higher, we started at the bottom, now we're here. Everybody's going up. I need somebody who knows I'm going up. I'm going up with my family. I'm going up with my children. I'm going up with my church. We're all going up.
Join Dr. Chris Hill at Higher Level Denver this Sunday at 10 a.m. Higher Level Denver at the Roar Center, 3035 South Parker Road, Aurora, Colorado, 80014. See all that we're doing on the web at www.higherleveldenver.org.
And we're back. We're back. We're talking today about how do I discover my purpose?
Yes.
And we did the prayer. Please go, if you didn't see the front half, please see the first segment because it's going to help this one make sense. Because we're going to jump right into, I deal with leaders, politicians, pastors, evangelists, speakers, writers, and prominent business people all over the world, globally. And it always breaks down to this, is how do I determine my purpose? Number one, I believe that your purpose is hidden in God, that you're going to have to get into the face of God and to actually pray and ask him, and that he will begin to reveal to you, why are you here? Now, here's the thing. The other thing is that God is an eternal God. The Bible puts it this way, that he's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? So that means that when God is dealing with you, he's dealing with you individually, but he's also dealing with you generationally.
Yes.
Okay? So he's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That meant that the purpose of the life of Abraham would not just be realized in Abram's life. We're not even going to really see it fully until we get to Jacob. Okay? So when you're asking God your purpose for your life, and we all need to do that, we all need to beseech him and press into him, there are certain things that are not going to even make sense till my grandchildren get here. They're not even going to hold up. It's going to be confusing to see because God is a multi-generational God. And so purpose runs through your family in 3 generations. Okay? It runs through your family in 3 generations. So if you just look at my grandmother, you just look at my grandma B. God rest her soul. She's already in the presence of God. Grandma B was a secretary and she was a part-time maid. She cleaned people's houses for side money. But with that, she was able to send my mother to a better school. And then my mother was able to send me to an even better school. So her life as a maid only made sense within the context of 3 generations.
Yeah.
Okay? And sometimes we blow it completely because we want God. Nobody wants to be the maid. They just want to be the doctor. But somebody has to be the foundation. You can break a generational curse in your family. You can change a whole way, but God is not going to deal with you solely as an individual, Sometimes he's going to bless you so you can be a blessing to the next generation. And then that next generation may be a blessing to the world. Now, the only person who knows my grandma's name is me and her other grandchildren. And there's only, good God, there's only 5 of us in the earth who even know her name. But we've all benefited. I don't have a cousin that doesn't have an advanced degree because little B emphasized education. I want you to understand this. So first part is you got to look at your purpose in 3 generations. Okay? If you just look at it for you, you may be disappointed because somebody has to be the ground floor. Everybody I talk to in this generation, particularly millennials, they want to, I want to build generational wealth. Well, that generational wealth may mean that you have to take an entry-level job. Generational wealth may mean you might have to work that job for 10 years.
While you're building that business.
While you're building the business.
Same time.
Jump in there.
That means you might have to work 2 or 3 jobs at once.
Side hustle.
Okay? You may have to have job A, job B, and business C, and use job A and B to fund business C for anywhere between 5 to 15 years it may take to get it really where it needs to be, to where it's supplementing your income and now can become something that you can pass down to your children.
Right. It's amazing to me that I'll see people, they started their business is a year old, and they're ready to quit their 9 to 5.
Not smart.
And the reality is you are not ready to quit your 9 to 5 until your side hustle or your business can support you 3 times. 3 times. Okay? Now, we've done this. You're looking at 8 businesses. Okay? When you look at us, you're seeing 8 businesses. So we've already done this. I'm not talking off the side of my neck. I'm talking, this is how you do it. And one of the biggest problems is that we want it so fast. We want it to happen so quickly. And because people jump on the YouTubes and they jump on the Instagram and they make it seem like all you got to do is buy their masterclass and they're going to show you how to get out of your job in 3 weeks. And you didn't realize you just gave them $300. You just gave them $199. And they got to quit their job because they found a sucker named you who bought their program, and they lied to you. Because really, most people, they bought their house with their 9 to 5. And then with their 9 to 5 job, then they took the equity from that house and put that equity in their sandwich shop or their food truck. And they rocked that food truck for another 5 years until they could buy another truck. And then they took the food trucks into a third truck and the third truck into a restaurant. It takes time. Gordon Ramsay is old. He looked good. Don't he look good?
He looked good.
He looked good, but he wasn't an overnight success. There's no such thing as an overnight success, except if you won the lottery, and those people are usually broke in a year. Because if you don't know how to make it, you don't know how to keep it. Oh, Sheba, you better stop it now. Okay, okay. So that's the first thing. God knows your purpose. I need you to think more long term.
Yeah, slow down. I know for millennials, we have this mindset as that
we're not throwing off on millennials. I love millennials.
No, I'm a millennial.
I know, I love millennials.
Anyways, us millennials, we go through our life like every day. You know, we say stuff like, oh my God, I'm so behind.
Right.
Oh my God, I need to hurry up. Oh my God, I should be a baller by now. No. Trust me, I started very young. I had my first job at age 10.
Right.
I was cleaning swimming pools.
Right.
And then I was braiding hair.
Right.
And then I worked at McDonald's and Taco Bell.
Come on.
And then I worked for many offices.
Right.
And I worked for chiropractors.
Right, I remember that.
I worked for business owners.
Right, lots of them.
Yes, I worked for vacuum cleaner companies.
You went door to door?
I used to go door to door.
You did the Kirby?
I sure did.
Man.
Kirby, hey.
Kirby, I bought a Kirby. That thing was terrible.
I made some money making Kirby.
Yeah, because it was a ripoff.
Yeah, it was. Them things were expensive.
It was expensive.
Expensive.
They were expensive, and by the time I paid it off, it was broke.
But Kirby helped me get a car.
It got you a car.
It helped me get a car because that commission
was kicking.
I just did it long enough to get that car.
See, but what I like is, so you're going door to door, you're hustle, you're drive, you're emancipated at 16, so you're paying your own rent and paying your own way.
Yeah.
But it's a longer process. Now you're in your late 30s. And you've done all this stuff. You've got all this experience, but you started at 10.
Yeah, I really started.
So you're 30 years
10.
in.
That's crazy.
You're 30 years in.
By the time I'm,
Right.
now.
And that's the thing. We're not going to get past time. I know everybody wants to get past time, but God is the God of time. He's Alpha, Omega. He's beginning and the end. And when he introduces himself to Moses, he says, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm the God of multiple generations, and I operate through generations. So your purpose has to be seen within the matrix of generations. Now, once we get that understanding, let's move to the next thing, is I call it pace.
Yeah.
One of my little brothers gave me this. One of my little brothers, Mitch Summerfield, gave me this. I wanted to share it with you. Is the first thing is passion. Passion. We need you to answer the question, what's your passion?
What's your passion? What are you passionate about? What is that thing in your soul that's burning? No matter how you try to shake it, it doesn't go away. It's your passion.
Your passion, your drive. Some people will call it your why.
Why do you wake up?
What wakes you up in the morning? What drives you? What makes you work? What will make you work hard? Somebody great said that until you know what you would die for, you have nothing to live for. What drives you? What is your passion? And you need to spend at least 4 hours, 3-4 hours, really plumbing the depths of your own identity to figure out what's my passion. Your passion can't just be Haagen-Dazs, okay? Your passion just can't be women. Your passion just can't be men. Because I know right now you got it going on. You got the perfect pecs. But one day them perfect pecs will be flabby flesh. You hear what I'm saying? I know them. You got them boobies is perky right now. But one day them 36Ds are gonna be 48 longs, okay? And so once that happens, you're gonna be. Do they swing low? Yeah, they wobble to and fro. Can you tie them in a knot? You can tie them in a bow, okay? One day it's all gonna change. And so if your passion is just sex, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? We're gonna Viagra you so much that when we put you in the coffin, they're gonna have to leave the bottom part up. What's up? Okay, your life can't just be about that. What's your passion? What's your real passion? What drives you? What wakes you up? Got to answer that. Now, once we get your passion, this is the hard part. This is the hardest one I'm gonna hit you with. What's your ability?
Ooh, because sometimes we have passions that are so outside of our ability.
I wanted to be MC Hammer.
So unrealistic. Like, you couldn't, even if you tried.
Can't touch it. I just
you
couldn't dance.
do it.
I wanted to be MC Hammer. I wanted to dance.
You did?
I did.
Really?
Oh.
Stop.
No.
Hammer time. I can hammer time.
I know she actually can. I married a dancer, but I couldn't do it. And I wanted to be Michael Jordan.
Really?
Okay. I wanted to play basketball.
Really?
Basketball is my favorite sport.
I can't even imagine him playing a sport.
But I was altitudinally challenged. And I had a handicap. And I couldn't jump. I'm a black man who can't jump.
I'm short and I played basketball.
I know. You were, and
I
you
was
were good.
really good.
Short stack.
Short stack, half
Mac
pint.
attack, half a pint. She was amazing. I wasn't. Okay. And then I wanted to run. So I joined the track team, and I'm slow. I am the slowest black man in the history of black men. Okay. They put me on the long distance team with the white people. Okay, because I can run all day. I never get tired, as you can tell. I have wind forever. Okay, but speed is not what I have. So I have this passion for everything. I didn't have the ability.
So what did you do if you didn't have the? Hold up.
Okay.
How did you realize you didn't have the ability? Because come on, let's be real on Love the Real Hills.
Let's be real.
A lot of people will have a passion and think they have ability. And the minute someone tells them, boo-boo, I'm not sure this is what you should be doing.
This is
they
why,
get in their feelings.
This is why I love auditions.
I do too, but they stopped doing stuff.
I
they
love
stopped
auditions.
doing auditions and
I
stuff.
love when they raise that hand, okay, and they say thank you. Okay, that's how you know you suck. Okay, I knew I wasn't good at basketball because I was I was either the last one picked or the next to the last one. And usually I kicked the last one in the balls first. Okay? Just to make sure they all hobbled over. Okay, because I didn't want to be the last one picked.
Babe, that was so mean.
I needed Jesus. I got saved for a reason. Okay? But I also realized I wasn't good. I wasn't good at it. The last trophy I got was for kickball in the 4th grade.
So,
Because I could do the bouncy.
So, babe, recognizing ability. Means,
you don't know how many people I've met who want me to mentor them on preaching, and then I say, send me a tape, send me a video. You do know, because you live with me, and we will sit there and watch somebody who should be a mime artist. You should mime. You should mime. You should not speak. See, I came up in the old day, and you had to do a trial sermon.
Yeah.
See, they did away with the trial sermon like they did away with the audition so that they could say, brother, we feel a strong call on your ministry to teach. But we do not feel, them deacons say, we do not feel like you're called to preach. See, we did away with that, and you could just go to cemetery and and pay your money, and you go to that seminary and they'll give you a degree, but you still don't get a phone call because it may not be your ability. Okay? Now we can work on your ability, but there's a limit to what ability can do. I will never be Picasso. Don't look like that. I can't do stick figures. I can't draw. I can explain to you how to draw. Okay? I can explain to you why a Picasso is beautiful and why it's expensive, but I can't do it. I think we have to begin to embrace that we may be passionate. I'm passionate about football.
You are.
Okay? I love me some football.
You love it.
I love college football.
He'd be like, let's go. We got to get home. The game is coming on.
Skull Buffs. Okay? I'm all for that. I like all football. I like it all, but I'm not good at it. It's not within my ability. My father was an incredible football player.
But what is that? What is telling you that it's not within your ability? What is inside?
Failure. Failure.
Failure told you?
I tried it. I failed. If at first you don't succeed, drop like death the filthy deed.
Babe, I just said, if you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again.
No, and who sang that?
No, I'm not.
Who sang that?
I'm not answering.
Who sang it?
I'm not answering.
Who sang that song?
Babe, no, but this is what I'm saying.
She fell off, didn't she?
Babe, but some people...
She crashed.
Babe, shh.
What?
Some people... So mean.
Why are you quoting somebody?
No, he's so mean. But
No,
some
I
people,
need
they
the
have,
world.
They don't have ability, babe.
No.
What I'm saying is,
If
what
you're- why
inside
would you
you
get into
What
something where
inside
you're going
you
to
is
sell
telling
something
you-
and you're not a salesperson?
But what inside you is telling you that this is not, you don't have an ability here. I see people every day.
Yeah.
I work with people every day
Yep.
who think they are good at stuff that they are obviously not. And
Failure.
they do not ever for 1 second think they're not good at it,
Failure.
even if they fail.
Failure. These are the peoples who go on America's Got
What is
Talent.
that?
These are the peoples that go on
But
the
even on
American
Got Talent,
Idol.
and they tell them, no, boo-boo, you can't sing. And they
They're
be
like,
like,
I can sing.
yes, I
Because their
can.
parents have lied to them. Their friends have sang, Sharon. Sing it for Jesus. See, when they would bless your heart, when they're saying that, that means shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. They're saying, sing it for Jesus. He the only person who want to hear this. when they start quoting scriptures like, make a joyful noise, they were trying to tell you that you should mime.
Okay, so babe, like, you know how you don't want to hurt people's feelings? Like, you know how you don't want to hurt people's feelings, babe? Like how?
Mime.
So how do you not? You know you don't want to hurt. Well, you know some people don't want to hurt people's feelings. I'm not one of those people. But you know how
You're
you're
very
trying not to
direct.
hurt people's feelings?
Yeah, it's just
Like, and they don't see
they can't
that they
see
don't
it.
have ability. What do you do?
Is I say, okay, are we let favor be the fleece. Let favor be the fleece. Gideon put out fleeces for the Lord, and that was his indication that he was going in the right direction. I say, let favor be the fleece.
But every church I go to, they want me to be in the choir.
Right?
Ain't that favor?
Yeah, your mic's not on, boo-boo. Your mic's not on. Because you can't hit them notes, okay? Go back and listen to the online. You're going to see you are not in the online mix. Because you're probably not supposed to. But I meet people, and they get to be in the choir. I was in the choir, baby. I love the choir. I didn't have no voice to be on the front line. Put me in the back line. Do you know the light? That's my note, okay? That's my ability. I am a baritone, okay? And be comfortable in that. But then I meet people, they will leave the church because they didn't get the solo. And we say so long.
So long,
So
suckers.
long. Because, sorry. No, don't do that to people. Don't do that
So,
to
babe,
people.
are you saying that it is okay
It's
this
okay.
day and age to be honest and tell people when they're really not good at
It
something?
helps. If you're too
So that's not like, okay, that's not shaming. You know how they say, oh, you're body shaming. Oh, you're
I'm not body
attitude
shaming nobody.
shaming. Oh, you're
No.
this shaming.
No, it's not
So
shaming.
if I tell someone you should not be wearing that outfit,
No, we disagree there. I think they should because I like to laugh.
babe,
Okay? I need humor
there
in my
are
life.
certain etiquettes
There's no etiquette.
that
We're
people
gonna
should have.
leave that alone.
I'm leaving it.
We're moving
but
on.
I'm just saying,
We're
are you
moving on.
saying
I'm saying
it's okay for us to tell people
I'm saying
in
that
this
if
day
you're
and age
really good at it, if
that
you're
they're
really
not good.
if
We're talking
they're-
about
no, I'm
ability.
saying if you're really good at it, go audition. Go find some people who don't know you and get an outside opinion. Okay?
So if I know them, I shouldn't tell them.
No, I wouldn't. Not unless I really. Now, if they're my homeboy, if they're my friend, and if you got a boogie in your nose, you need someone in your life who will say, "There's a boogie in your nose." That you need someone in your life who will say, "This is something you probably shouldn't be doing." You need somebody in your life. But I'm an encourager because they're going to call you a dream breaker.
No, they're gonna say you're negative.
They're gonna tell you
and-
negative and me. So
You're mean.
hey, but if you're honest, if someone honestly says, Pastor Hill, Dr. Hill, I want you to come and evaluate my preaching, and my first question is, do you really want me? I have 100,000 hours in the pulpit. Do you really want me to evaluate your sermon? And if they say yes, then I will. Okay? But for the most part, people,
But that's preaching. But what about us, the normal
ability.
people in the world, you know?
ability is let favor be the fleece. If you're good at sales, you can sell jewelry. Okay? So before you start selling jets, go down to K's and get yourself a job selling jewelry. Let's see if you have the sales. The people that I know that can sell. Start where you are.
They can sell water to a fish.
Water to a fish, ice to an Eskimo. Okay? And let's start there
So,
before we quit
passion,
our job. Passion,
ability,
okay?
and then
Calling,
calling.
okay?
All right. So calling.
Calling.
Define calling.
Calling is, there are certain people that you meet that are called to do something. And it goes beyond the pulpit. Have you ever met a teacher, or have you ever had a teacher, maybe in elementary school or middle school or high school or college? God bless you if you can find them in college or university. Someone who had a calling to teach.
Yes.
Really? You met that one? Name, tell us about her.
Her
Him. I'm assuming.
Her name was Miss Smiley.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Her name was Smiley.
She was a great teacher.
She was called to do it.
Yeah, because she wasn't annoyed.
Wow.
Like when she came to school every day, she was happy to be there. She would create ways to make the learning experience fun for us.
Right.
And entertaining.
Right.
To where we would enjoy it enough to learn from it. And she was always pleasant. You know how you go to like Starbucks or McDonald's and you go through the drive-through and you say, "Hi," and they're like,
Madam,
1 minute.
Madam,
1
can I tell you
minute.
what to pay?
1 minute.
Right.
And then you say,
Hold
"Okay,
on.
thank you." And then they come back, "Yeah, what can I get for you?"
Right.
"Okay, pull to the window." And then you get to the window and you're smiling
Okay.
and they're like
Have you
1705.
have
like
you ever had a
attitude, like
barista who is called to do it?
yes. There's this one that I go and visit daily on my way to work
Okay.
because
Why?
Because she just answers the thing and she's like, "Hello, welcome to Starbucks. What can I get for you today?" And I say, "Oh, can I get
See-
a green tea?" And she's like, "Oh, sure. Is that all for you?" And then you get to the window and she opens with a smile and
Right.
she's like, "Oh, hi.
Right.
Nice to see you again."
Right.
That'll be 5:37.
Now, see, and here's the thing: is I already know, but you tip her ridiculously.
Yeah. I've
You
always,
go see her.
I want
her
a job.
shift.
I want a job to open up so I can go hire her.
You just want to hire her. Favors the fleece. Favors the fleece. Okay, one of our sons is a what do you call it? Maitre d', a host at a restaurant.
Yeah, a host.
He's in grad school, so he's just working at a restaurant, make a little money on the side. Okay, he memorizes everybody's name and where they like to sit. Where they like to sit as the host. He averages $200 in tips as the host. He's filling his gas tank with the money from the tips because he memorizes everybody's name, what they want to eat, and where they want to sit. And he's not the waiter, he's the host. My point is, favors the fleece. Favors the fleece is if that calling, we can see your call. I can see it.
It kinda jumps out.
It jumps out. If you're an educator and you're called to do it, you educate way better than somebody who's just doing it as a job. See, I never had one teacher who was called to do it.
Really? Yeah, I only had one.
I never had one.
Only.
I don't remember any of their names. They can all rest in pieces. Okay? May you rest in pieces. I don't remember none of your names because all they did when I went to public school. Okay? My sons didn't, but I did because I had to be the I had to be the joint in this chain. Okay. Here's the thing: is I would walk into class, baby. They write on the board, "Shut up." Not good morning. Shut up. And I realized later, oh, you weren't called to do it. So we're talking about your passion. We're going to talk about your ability. And are you called to do it? Is it like, does your heart sing? When I'm teaching,
is it
when
easy? Is it natural? It comes
just,
out of you even when it's not trying to.
I write, it's just easy.
Yeah, it's not hard.
It's not. I talk.
It's easy.
It's my call.
Can y'all see?
It's. I know, baby. I know. We got to get out of this segment. We're gonna come right back in a minute, and we're gonna give you number 4. We're gonna give you the E, and we're gonna give you the E in just a minute because we want you to find your purpose. We'll be right back.
Higher Level Denver is here. Join us as we go to the higher level. Higher Level Denver with Dr. Chris Hill.
But I'm about to get real free. Free in my mind, free in my body, free in my past, free in my future. I need a free person to give God a free praise right here.
We are friends of God, friends of man, and friends of humanity. Transform your life. Find your voice. Get ready to roar. Join Dr. Chris Hill at Higher Level Denver this Sunday at 10 a.m. Higher Level Denver at the Roar Center, 3035 South Parker Road, Aurora, Colorado, 80014. See all that we're doing on the web at www.higherleveldenver.org.
And we're back.
All right, we were talking about pace. Pace, finding your purpose. How do I find my purpose? And earlier we talked about P being your passion. A, ability. C, calling. And the last one is experience. Experience, like how much education do you have in this area? Have you taken time to even learn about this area? Have you taken time to go to school and get as much education as you can in the area you're passionate about? Sometimes your, volunteerism, doing things
What do you mean?
Things you do and, go and volunteer. Like, oh, I think I enjoy animals. Well, I'm going to go volunteer at a couple of animal farms.
Come on.
First, and make sure I really enjoy animals. I may decide, I'm really interested in science.
Because that's true. That's real. I'm passionate about horses.
You are?
I am. I would love riding horses. Okay? I do. Hee-haw. Okay? I love it. But I ain't shoveling no
horse poo.
fertilizer. Okay? The first day, they say go clean that stall up, Reverend Doctor.
Baby, it's the easiest thing. You take a shovel and you scoop it.
But I have to smell it.
Babe, you smell it when you ride the horses.
It's behind me. You see what I'm saying? God put all that behind you. Okay? And so the air is in your face.
Sometimes, what you're saying is sometimes you may think you're passionate about something until you actually take time
to experience
it.
Right.
Go in detail, find out more information about that thing. See I think I'm a dancer. See what it takes to be a dancer.
Put your leg up and
see what it takes
the air.
And how painful it is to be a dancer.
Have you seen ballet dancers' toes?
Ooh.
Ballet dancers' toes is the ugliest thing you've ever seen. Put them in them little shoes with what's the point thing called, baby?
Point.
Oh, sorry. Point. When they say in point, it's a French word.
Point.
In pointers.
On point.
On point.
They don't say it like that. They say point.
Whatever it is. It's ridiculous. And I'm passionate about ballet. I am. I've seen the Nutcracker Like every Christmas.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to play with
You
him.
know what I'm saying?
In his ballet
But
passion.
I'm not putting on the package. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do it.
You don't
I'm
run the
not gonna do
leotard?
it. No, I don't have I need my tutu to be a 9-9.
Anyways, so guys, you want to take time to
I cracked
really
myself.
research, look
Experience.
in and experience your passion.
Okay.
What you think may be your passion, because you may find out, you might get in there and find out that you're not as passionate as you thought.
Or they want you to be there a lot. You know? I wanted to be fast, babe. I went to the practices and everything.
You stretched.
I stretched, but they're like run laps, you know? 16 times around.
Yeah.
And no,
No.
I threw up at my first race. Have you ever thrown up?
No, baby.
Yeah, I was running. I was skinny. Okay, I was about 112. Okay, and I ran, and everybody else, number one, they all beat me, and then I threw up after on the side of the track,
Oh yeah, no.
and
You
I
wasn't
was like,
supposed to be running.
this is not my calling.
No, it's not.
And then, but the experience was so terrible, you know.
Realize.
And if I had continued and been like, no, I'm going to be in the Olympics.
Get out
know?
there. People, you have to get out there. You
Experience
have to
it.
you have to get out there. You need to try different jobs, try different career paths.
I love
Go
it.
and test this out. Go and do this. Oh, you want to be, oh, I like makeup. Let me go see and try. Let me go to a makeup class. Oh, I like to do hair. Oh, well, let me try to do somebody's
I want to be a
hair.
doctor.
I want to be a doctor. Let me go shadow a doctor and sit in their office all day and see what it's like to be a doctor. Oh, I want to do this.
I actually knew
tried
somebody.
at least 50 different things
I
in
knew
life.
somebody that they went all the way through medical school, Harvard. They owed $400,000, and they got in rotations and found out that they loved everything about medicine except sick people.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Sick people.
Oh, God.
And so she quit her profession, okay, and had $400,000 in debt over her head. Still has it 30 years later, still got the debt because just no experience.
Yes.
Just experience it. Try it. Get out there. So this is the Reverend Dr. Mitch Summerfield's list, okay? He helped me with this: passion, ability, calling, and experience. When you look at it through the matrix of these four things, it will help you to discover your passion. It will help you to discover your ability, your calling. And when you add the experience to it, YouTube is a great tool.
Yep.
Okay, I learned a lot of things off of YouTube. I learned stuff from TikTok. I learned how to fold pants.
Amen.
That thing is amazing, okay?
Well, babe, that's our time for today. Please like, follow, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
One day you'll find your passion just like Chris, talking. Yes. Follow us on Instagram at Love the Real Hills.
We love
and
you.
on our YouTube by clicking, liking, subscribing, and sharing. We'll see you next time on Love the Real. You know what? We're going to do a part 2 to this.
Okay.
There's some more. There's some more we
Yeah.
need to talk about with
How do I
finding
set family
So
goals?
next time we're going to do part 2 of how do I find my passion.
Yeah, let's do
We'll
it.
see you next time on Love the Real Hills.